Jyoti sir, coordinator of IIC and Riper sir.
Okay. So
Thank you for
very good.
accepting our request. Yes, sir.
It's my pleasure.
Good
Thank
morning,
you, sir.
sir.
Triveni?
Yes, ma'am. Can I start, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. A very good morning to all. Myself, Triveni, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, Raghavendra Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Raipur, Anantapur. I invite you all for this orientation section on National Education Policy, Innovation and Entrepreneurship online webinar organized by Institution Innovation Council, IIC, Raipur, in association with Indian Pharmaceutical Association, IPA, Anantapur local branch. Coming to the today's webinar topic, innovation is important in entrepreneurship. Your goal is not to build just an average startup, is right? In order to create an outstanding product, strong brand, and to build your customer network, you need to innovate. Being innovative does not happen overnight. It requires time and effort to create something truly innovative that will make difference. This webinar helps to understand the importance of entrepreneurship, education, ideas, execution, and knowledge in relation to innovation. Without further delay, I will invite Mr. Sudhir sir to give a brief biodata of today's speaker, Professor K. Nagabhushan Raju garu. Sudhir sir?
Thank you, madam.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. So this is A. Sudhir, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmacology, Raghavendra Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research. So I feel honored and happy to introduce today's speaker, Professor K. Nagabhushan Raju garu. Professor Kunduru Nagabhushan Raju is a professor in the Department of Instrumentation and USIC, Sri Krishnadevara University, Anantapur. He holds a BTech in Mechanical Engineering, MTech in Energy Conservation and Management, PhD in Instrumentations. His professional career started with the Tata Energy Research Institute, wherein he was involved in the energy efficiency technology absorption studies in over 30 medium and large scale industries during his stint for 3.5 years. So he has the distinction of getting selected as a young scientist C at the age of 26 by the CSR Central Mechanical Engineering Research Institute, Durgapur. So, and was the awardee of Jawaharlal Nehru Centenary British Fellowship for the pursuing PhD in Energy Conservation at UMIST, Manchester, UK. Being passionate towards academics, he pursued his career in Sri Krishnadevara University, Anantapur since 1993. He has completed 4 major research projects sponsored by ISRO and UCG. 16 candidates have been awarded PhD and 2 candidates MPhil under his research guidance. He has so far 105 publications to his credit in the national and international journals. He has also authored 4 books and a book chapter. He has organized, attended, presented papers, delivered keynote addresses in a total of 59 conferences, seminars, symposia, and workshops. He has the distinction of receiving both AP State Scientist Award on February 29, 2009 and AP State Teacher Award on September 5th, 2015 by the government of AP. He has held several responsibilities such as Head Department of Instrumentation, Coordinator and Head Department of Electronics, Placement and Career Guidance Officer at SKU College of Engineering, Regional Coordinator for Jawahar Knowledge Center, Principal SKU College of Engineering and Technology, and currently the Dean Faculty of Engineering and Technology and the directors, Center for Skill Development, Entrepreneurship and Incubation, SK University. He is also the founder director of the Atal Incubation Center, sanctioned by Niti Aayog, Government of India. He is in the boards of studies and boards of examiners of different universities. He is a academic senate member of SK University and Adikavi Nanaya University, and served as a member in the Academic Council of J&T College of Engineering, Anantapur, and G. Pullareddy Engineering College, Kurnool, and SRIT, Anantapur. He served in a number of committees at state and university level. He is a fellow of IET and NESA and member of Instrument Society of India and IST. He is actively associated with a number of society councils, non-profit organizations like Adi Foundations, Breed Society, SNC Society, etc., etc. He has visited number of universities in USA on a Rotary International Group Study Exchange Program, apart from Nanyang Technological University, Singapore and Malaysia. He is a seasoned motivator and freelance career counselor. Apart from giving frequent radio talks, he appeared occasionally on Doordarshan Saptagiri live phone-in program on career guidance for engineering students. Sir, born on 9th September 1965, he hails from Raichoti town of Vyasa district in AP. So with this brief introduction, I welcome Professor Nagbhushan Das Garu. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was very exhaustive. It should have been much simpler.
So it is great opportunity for us, sir. Even though it exhaustive, it is required for our students to motivate it, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much. Yeah. Shall we proceed, madam? Or any?
Yes.
No, sir. Please,
No, sir.
sir. Please continue, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So I just.
We are very happy to
screen.
listen. Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah, I'll just share my screen.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So I hope the screen is visible to everybody.
Sir, visible, sir. Visible. Screen is visible, sir. Okay, sir.
Anyway, thank you, Professor Jyoti Garu, Professor Triveni Garu, and Mr. Gurucharan Garu. At the outset, let me congratulate the efforts of Raghavendra Raiper, Raghavendra Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research. And the institute has been very close to my heart for several years, because I know Padmanabh Reddy Garu for a very long time. And we have been witnessing the growth of the college for the past few years and its achievements in academics and research. It's really proud that the institute is in Anantapur, and it's very close to us. So at the outset, let me congratulate all the faculty and students also for having associated with such a reputed institution in this region. It's not all that easy to build up that reputation, because in this current situation of competence, you need to compete at every stage at all levels. But I really appreciate the entire faculty and students and the management for having lived up to the expectations of the students for so long years and having come to this level now. Again, let me thank the institute for giving me an opportunity to share my views with the faculty and students on the National Educational Policy 2020. So I'll be mostly concentrating on the highlights and concerns. Then I'll be slightly touching upon the entrepreneurial and innovation attitude of the students, which is most essential, which has been very much highlighted in the National Education Policy 2020, and also Government of India in association with MHRD, now it is again Ministry of Education, with this national education policy. AICTE, UGC, MHRD, all these institutions have come forward in designing a national innovation and startup policy. That was in 2019. So because the beauty of these two policies are, first I'll take you to the, yeah. This is the policy, National Innovation and Startup Policy 2019 for students and faculty, which serves as a guiding framework for higher education institutions. In fact, this is the combined effort of MHRD Institutional Cell, Innovation Cell, MHRD as it is, and UGC and AICTE. Okay, in fact, this has come in the year 2019, and then our educational policy as such, it has come in 2020. So really the main essence of both these policies is basically to make the students think. Now that is the major concern, before going into the highlights, the concerns of the erstwhile educational policies. The first educational policy came in the year 1968. And then the second educational policy came in the year 1986. And now we have the third after a gap of nearly 36 years. In fact, the world has seen a sea change in the education system. All of you know what is the basic limitation of our education system. The basic limitation of our education system, I hope, do you all agree that it is purely a rote learning system, right? You learn, and vomit in the examination section, then you get some grades or marks, and the marks are no value when you go for employment. So that is the paradoxical condition which we all have been witnessing for all these years. And if we compare this particular Western universities, you all know, culture-wise, India stands first in the entire world. No country can beat the cultural heritage of India. The entire Western, if you see in Germany, they are doing research in our Vedic studies. All the Vedas are put to scrutiny in German. Upanishads, Europe, many scientists, literates in Europe are studying on Upanishads. That's the strong culture of India. But unfortunately, we follow the Western culture. And when it comes to education, Europe and the US, most of the European countries, most of the US abroad, they have a very good educational system, right? Where the student is made to think from the year 3rd onwards. Right? Every student is totally set free. The type of subject they want to study, the subject career they want to pursue, the amount of knowledge they want to get. But all these things are very highly freedom in the Western countries. But unfortunately, when we are culturally strong, we follow the West. When they are educationally strong, we don't follow the Western educational culture. So that is high time that Government of India has really thought of this national education policy, which takes care of all the concerns of the earlier educational policies so far we have had. And they have addressed keeping innovation and entrepreneurship in mind. So today we will briefly discuss what are the highlights of this educational policy and what the student should be grasping about. Yeah, this is just to start with. Yeah, before we go, let's understand what Albert Einstein has said. I hope you're all seeing this slide. If you categorize the people, there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other spectrum of people see as though everything is a miracle. Now, so far, up till our generation, we have been thinking as though nothing is a miracle. Our earlier education system, there is no scope for the students to think which is a miracle, which is not a miracle. Now, the present generation students, as most of you would be seeing, they see as though everything is a miracle. That's the generation gap. The students are highly volatile. The students are highly creative. Now, unless we have an education system to make them think, to make them understand what is there at their disposal, with the kind of technological developments that they are exposed to, it is not at all an easy task. Now, it is our generation which has to gear up to make the next generation students, to make them think that everything is a miracle. Now, the National Education Policy 2020 aims at making India a global knowledge superpower. Because while doing this, the first thing Government of India did was to change the name HRD itself, because the change, they felt that the change has to start from then onwards. That's the reason why the erstwhile MHRD has been renamed as Ministry of Education. And this is a major revamp of the educational framework that has been happening after 1968 and 1986 policies. Now, the major points here to understand is that if we see in three, number one is school education, number two is in higher education, and then the other factors. Let's classify basically. I have deliberately put most of the points so that the people read and then understand the thing. When it comes to school education, the emphasis is more on foundational literacy and a numerical ability. Rigid separation between academic streams, extracurricular, vocational streams in schooling. No, here, the vocational education to start from class 6th onwards with internships. That's the major change that we are going to see. We will discuss these points also more in detail. Then teaching up to at least grade 5 to be in mother tongue or regional language, and no other language will be imposed on any subject. That's the major guidelines. And assessment reforms, it's not only through internals and external examinations. There is a 360-degree holistic progress card. Every time there is a continuous assessment to track the students' progress for achieving the learning outcomes. Most of the system is going to be the outcome based. What is that the student is learning at the end of the course, at the end of the year? And that is exactly the 360-degree holistic progress card. Every time he is under assessment. Then a new and comprehensive national curriculum framework for teacher education. This is going to come in 2021. NCFTE, National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education, 2021, because Government of India wants teacher education to be streamlined first, because they have to hone the skills of the children at the school education. So the task of framing the NCFTE is given to NCTE and NCERT. And these two will be coming out in the year 2021. And the aim is by 2030, the minimum degree qualification for teaching will be a 4-year integrated B.Ed, Bachelor of Education, right? And that is the target of when it comes to school education in the National Education Policy. If you see this, there is a total transformation in the curricular and pedagogical structure. So far, we have been having 10 years plus 10+2 system we were having. right? So up to 10 years from age 6 to 16, 10th class, and then intermediate 2 years, and before they go into intermediate, before they go into the degree. Okay, so that this is the existing academic structure. But when you see the Western education system, it starts basically at 3rd year itself. Okay, now this is the new academic structure that is coming here. From 3rd year onwards, the child is given the foundational framework. Okay, so up to 3 years, they will be under the care of Anganwadi or preschool or Balavatika from 3 to 6, 3 years. From the age of 3 to the age of 6, they will be taken care by this. Whether you call it as at the corporate level, we call it as a preschooling. At government level, we may call it as Anganwadi, or Gurukul system, we may call it as a Balavatika. Then after the 6th year, they will be starting their class 1 and class 2. And this is the thing. So age 6th to 8th, they will be in 1st standard and 2nd standard. So these 5 years have been missing so far. These 3 years have been missing. But when they come straight away to 6th, and the school education has to start from ABCD, right from the beginning. And that's where the students are lagging. So that's the reason why the most of the creativity skills of the students, when you call it as a critical thinking, it starts actually after the age of 3. That's the reason why the new educational policy starts from the 3rd year onwards, then class 1 and class 2. Then you have 3 years, class 3 to 5, we call it as a preparatory. So up to age 8, we have a foundational. Most of the foundational stage is multi-level, play and activity-based learning. Foundational stage more of activity-based, where the children are made to play, made to do some role models, made to do some activities, made to do some creative acts, and then made to learn through those activities. Then preparatory stage is a kind of a play, discover, and actively based on interactive classroom learning. So even in the classrooms, it will be more on role play model, and given a problem, how they discover, and how they frame these activities, these kind of things. Then when you see middle stage, you have, we call it as a 3 years from age 6th to 8th. This is class 6 to 8, between age 11th to 14. Middle stage, experiential learning, we call it as, because they have to learn with their experience. In sciences, mathematics, arts, social sciences, and humanity. So experiential learning is basically they are learning while doing. Okay, so this is exactly where middle level, they want to start the vocational system. They want to integrate the vocational system at the middle school level, where even the students or children can start learning the programming languages. Because learning programming language, you don't require a degree. And even a 3rd standard student, I'll give you an example, where a 3rd standard student is designing robotics using Python. In fact, I wanted to get that interview of that boy. Unfortunately, the time was not feasible, because the boy is actually is there in the school, online school. So that is the exactly challenge. That's the advantage of this education system. So when you come to the secondary stage, where multidisciplinary study, greater critical thinking, flexibility, and student choice of subjects. So all these are not there in the existing academic structure. And from classes 9th to 12th, okay, they will be exposed to multidisciplinary study. You can have a choice-based credit system, greater critical thinking, which will give you greater critical thinking, because critical thinking is very, very essential for this generation students. Okay, so combined to all these things, this is a new pedagogical and curricular structure of school education, which we normally call it as 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So 5 years, this 3 years, and then 3 years, then 4 years. 3 years in Anganwadi preschool and 12 years in school, actually. So total 15 years is covering. So that is the total curriculum structure, which will be, I think, by 2022 or 23, once the NCTE and NCERT frame the framework syllabus, then it will be put into schools, and all the schools will have from the year 22 and 23 onwards, this will become mandatory. Okay, so even the teachers also, when these students come into these colleges, we have to be prepared to handle these the students, because these generation students are going to be totally different when the students are coming through these phases. Then when we come to higher education, again, we have a holistic undergraduate education with a flexible curriculum, which can be of 3 or 4 years with multiple exit options and appropriate certification within this period. Now, if you see this, after 12, so far we have covered the 12th standard. After 12th standard, when the student enters a degree, we normally call it as undergraduate. It can be 3 years or 4 years, right? Or even 5 years. Honors degree could be 5 years. Now, if this is the major change which they are saying is, although the undergraduate degree is of 3 years, if a student joining at the first year of the degree, and if you get a job, or if you start your own company, because your thinking is going to be totally different, and by the time you are crossing your 12th grade, no wonder how many students are ready with innovations, ready with their entrepreneurship abilities, ready with their startup concepts. Now, once they have this, after the first year of joining the degree, they can stop their study, take a certificate that first year they have accrued so many credits. And with these credits, you can take a certificate and then go and do your employment or start your own company. You can be a CEO of your own company, work there for 1 to 2 years, come back and join in the second year. Okay. And when you join in the second year, you will carry on the credits that you have scored in the first year, that will be combined, integrated with the second year credits. And at the end of the second year, again, if you want to have a break, go to another job or go to next level of a company, or by this time you have started another startup, and go to the CEO as that startup. When you complete the 2 years, you will get a diploma in a particular major that you have chosen, and you can have a break again for 2 to 3 years, or gap for 2 to 3 years. Again, come back if you want to pursue. If you want to pursue higher studies, you can always come back and join the third year of your degree. Otherwise, if your company requires your time, if your company is so prospering, scaling up in its business, you can continue your business. You can continue this after your free time. And if at all you want to pursue career, you can again come back and join in the third year, right? Pursue your own credits, take your own subjects. And when you join in the third year, your credits in the first year and second year will be integrated into your third year. And once you clear the third year, you will be given a degree. You will be given a degree in a particular major subjects that you are choosing. Again, you have the option to have a gap, go with a degree and do employment, or go for an entrepreneurship journey. Or if you want to pursue your higher studies, you can go for a 4th year with the different subjects. When you pass the 4th year, you will be given a honors degree in the major subject that you have chosen for. So if you complete 4 years, you will get an honors degree. And after these 4 years, you can directly join the PhD research degrees, because there will not be MPhil course that is totally discontinued. And the postgraduate and PhD level will now be totally interdisciplinary. All the courses at undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD level will be totally interdisciplinary. Interdisciplinary in the sense, if a science graduate, an arts graduate, if they have a common subjects, let's say geography, let's say environmental science, and these kind of thing, and anybody can pursue their post-graduation and the interdisciplinary PhD degrees. That's the why we call it as a flexible curriculum. Okay, and with multiple exit options and appropriate certification within this period. That is exactly what is this first sentence says. Holistic undergraduate education with a flexible curriculum that can be of 3 or 4 years with multiple exit options and appropriate certification within this period. And that is the beauty of this higher education. I'm sure the generation students who are coming up to this level, they are really blessed to have such a flexible curriculum at the higher education level. Then, in order to take care of your credits, first year, second year, third year, or fourth year, academic bank of credits will be established to facilitate transfer of credits. There will be a digital bank of credits, where once you have the first year, you can put these credits in your digital bank. When you join anywhere in the institute, any institute you can go and take your credits and go and join that institute with those credits, because there will not be hurdles of transfer certificate and this kind of study certificate, conduct certificate, nothing of that sort from now onwards. Once this education policy comes into force, the students are totally at free to choose their disciplines, to choose their subjects, to choose their specializations, to study every year at a different institute, provided your credits are that strong. Because the major difference that you need to understand here when you have a academic bank of credits is that if you have a very high credit and even a high topmost institute, you can get the admission, but the credits are less, credits are weak, and then the admission may be difficult. And at every stage, you will have that advantages. So that is the point here. So I request all of you to please make note of these points. And at the end of this, we will have a question answers. We can always clarify whatever the doubts that you have. Or again, say after half an hour or so, we can have a break for 5 minutes, and where we can have a question answer session on the topics that are covered so far. Then again we can continue. It all depends on how you, how the coordinators decide. Okay, so I'm totally free. Then multidisciplinary education and research universities, MERUs, right, will be established at par with IITs and IIMs to set up as models of best multidisciplinary education of global standards in the country. This is a major thing that is going to come. Okay, then affiliation colleges is to be passed out in 15 years. Next 15 years, there will not be a concept of affiliation system, affiliated colleges to a particular university. Okay, and this will be a stage-wise mechanism will be evolved for granting graded autonomy to colleges. Every college will have a graded autonomy to design their own curriculum, to design their own assessment process. Then over a period of time, every college is expected to develop either into an autonomous degree granting college or a constituent college of a university. You will essentially have only two, either you are autonomous or a constituent college within the university. A university college is called as a constituent college. The other college, which is not directly under control of the university, is called as autonomous degree granting college. So this is exactly what we will see in higher education system in the new educational policy. And for this, there will be new establishments, mainly the National Research Foundation will be created, which will act as an apex body for fostering a strong research culture and building research capacity across higher education. Then the Higher Education Commission of India will be set up as a single umbrella body for the entire higher education. Because this will, of course, be excluding medical and legal education. All the other will come under Higher Education Commission of India. Public and private higher education institutions will be governed by the same set of norms for regulation, accreditation, and academic standards. Because now the university colleges have a particular accreditation standard and private colleges have a separate regulations. Now all these things will go, and even the governments have to compete with private educational institutions, and everything will be under the control of Higher Education Commission of India. Then this Higher Education Commission of India will be having 4 independent verticals. Okay, namely NHERC, mainly for regulation, National Higher Education Regulatory Council for regulations, because just to maintain that, let's say for BA, what are all the regulations required for Bachelor of Arts degrees or Master of Arts degrees, and what are all the regulations required for stream, engineering stream, pharmaceutical stream. The regulation, to have a regulation mechanism, you will have a National Higher Education Regulatory Council, and then have a General Educational Council. They will basically set the standards. And then for funding, instead of UGC, you will have higher education grant, and for accreditation, you will have National Accreditation.
Hello,
Yeah.
Sudhir sir?
There is some network problem, I believe, right?
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Now it is okay.
Yeah, okay, sir. PPT, sir.
Yeah. I'll just share the PPT again.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Please.
Yeah. So, what is your Jyoti madam or Sudhir or Triveni or somebody,
Yes, madam.
whoever is coordinating, can we just have any question round? We can have it, or let's complete it and then have a question answer round in the end.
Sir, please
Because I have
continue the
basically
session, sir. Yes. Excuse me, sir.
everything, and then in the end we can have. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Please continue, sir. At the end, we can have an interaction session. Students may ask you, or even the faculty may have some doubts. We can have the interaction session at the end of the talk, sir.
Right, madam. And any
Thank
time
you, sir.
limit, madam? Up to what time we can go? Because I have to plan for that timing.
Okay, sir. Shall we close after 40 minutes, sir?
Okay.
Or 30
So
minutes?
now it is 11:23.
Yes, sir.
Up to 12. Up to 12.
Okay, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank
Because
you, sir.
according to the time I can go on, because speaking is not a problem, but all the
Yes,
matters,
sir.
all that matters is listening.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
most of the students are here because I
Okay,
also
sir.
know the most difficult task in the world is listening. Because it is not all that easy to listen always. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank
Anyway,
you,
so
sir.
we will just go on with this.
Okay,
Then we
sir.
have I'll be more
Okay,
happy
sir.
to answer any type of queries that we have from the students in the
Okay,
end.
sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So these are all the 4 verticals that are there, which are now we have only either AICTE for engineering and technical education. We have UGC for general education. We have medical. So like this, we have different standards. So now everything is going to come under umbrella of Higher Education Commission of India, and these 4 verticals will be there for regulation, standards, funding, and accreditation. Then other major features here, if you want to see, is an autonomous body by National Education Technology. The forum will be set up to provide a platform for free exchange of ideas on the use of technology to enhance learning, assessment, planning, and administration. This is going to be another very, very important platform, this National Education Technology Forum, which will serve as a platform for either it can be online or offline, free exchange of ideas, that will enhance learning, assessment, planning, and administration. Then you have a National Assessment Center by name Parak, also will be created to have this will have a continuous assessment of the students at regular intervals. And this particular platform, either it can be a platform, learning management system platform, or it can be an app. Okay, so this policy also paves the way for foreign universities to set up campuses in India, because now the education system is opened up totally, and the government of India wants to give the best to its next generation children. That is the reason why any foreign university can come and they can set up their own campuses. And the policy also emphasizes setting up of gender inclusion fund, special education zones for disadvantaged regions and groups. Like how we have now special economic zones, wherever there are no industries, they are going to set up industries in terms of SEZ, we normally call special economical zone. But similarly, we will have a special educational zone for disadvantaged regions, wherever there are not good educational institutions. They can set up this education then, so that any outside institute can come and set up the higher institute there to cater to the needs of the people. And then this is another major policy. Then you have a National Institute for Pali, Persian, and Prakrit, like Indian Institute of Translation and Interpretation. Indian Institute of Translation and Interpretation also will be set up as a part of this. Now, overall, if you see, if we have to meet all these things, the current spending
Hello.
Hello, Sudhir sir.
Madam, again some issue, madam, with the SAR only.
Okay, network problem, sir.
Yes, madam.
Okay, sir. Dear students, please wait for 2 minutes. Sir will join once again. Yes, sir came, sir. Sir joined. Yes. Sir, please unmute yourself, sir. Sir, Nagabhushan, sir, unmute your mic, sir.
Right, madam.
Okay, sir.
Where is the problem? Actually,
No.
I think
from
so.
our
Your
side
network. Our side it is clear, sir. Your network problem.
It's good. Network is good, Amma.
Sorry, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, let's continue. No problem.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, sir.
So anyway, once in a while, the small break is also, at least it's a kind of a forced break.
Yeah, forced break.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So to leave out that monotony, I normally don't want a one way speaking.
Okay.
more better that we have interaction, but still these kind of thing we cannot avoid. So far, Government of India has been spending only 4.6% of GDP on education, that they want to raise it to 6%, because that is essential in order to take care of all these establishments. Okay. Another point here is the digital drive. Okay, the new education policy has emphasized the integration of technology at all levels of learning. Okay, number one, technology in education. Okay, the National Educational Technology Forum will be created for exchange. That's what we have discussed just now, which will be a dedicated unit for the purpose of creating digital infrastructure, digital content, capacity building to be set up in the ministry. Integration of technology will be done, because what we are doing it now, everyone is at their home. Still, the content is being delivered. What is required is going to happen with this digital drives. All of you would have seen. All of you would have seen basically what's happening now. That's one opportunity that we have seen with the COVID-19, because that has forced us to adapt to the learning management system, the digital transformation that has happened, because it is there for the last 10 years, almost 10 years, because IITs, you all would have seen, IITs have designed the NPTEL, National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning. But how many of us actually have been using these NPTEL lectures? And there are so many, you name it, you have a Coursera, you have every Stanford University, there are so many universities which have online sessions, online learning management system, where every student from anywhere can pursue these courses, do the certifications and gain knowledge. But none of us have been utilizing them. But now the situation has come where every school children is given a mobile by the parents freely, and giving them the freedom to use it however they want. So that is exactly the decision. And one point here I want to, the strength of this digital drive, which I want to focus is, as I was telling, a friend of NGO in Hyderabad, they have a, their grandson by name Ved. He is studying just 3rd standard. And the teachers were teaching computers architecture to them in 3rd standard, online, everything. So this boy, the class was over, and after the class is over, the boy is actually next 2 hours he is totally busy with his mobile. Then this person went and saw what is this boy is doing. What that boy is doing after the class is over, he is searching what is a CPU, how is CPU works, and how CPU is built, and what is embedded system, what is a Raspberry Pi processor, what is C, what is Python, and everything is doing it for the next 2 hours. That is the creativity. Imagine a 3rd standard student. And when the grandpa asked him, what is that you want to do? No, I want to develop a robo for autonomous robo for helpful for the agricultural farmers in the country. That's the vision of the boy at the age of 8. Okay, and that is exactly what is this digital drive. And these kind of students are there at every house. Only thing is we don't realize their potential, and we can't always realize their potential. But definitely this particular digital drive is going to, because there are no boundaries for this. There are no textbooks. You don't require textbooks, you don't require libraries, and everything is there in their Google. You also would have seen there were 2 friends. When they met, one friend asked me, where are you? What are you doing? He said, I am working at Google. And then they asked the other person, what are you doing? He said, I am Googling at my work. He is working at Google. One person is working at Google. The second person is Googling at work. That's the, democratization of information. And you have the information available everywhere, and every one of you can create the information which can be accessed by everything. And so all that is required is There has to be a financial support and professional education and standalone universities who can design these kind of online sessions and then keep sharing with the students. So any student, anyone can use this. That's the strength of this digital drive. Okay, so that's exactly what is the National Education Policy 2020 thing. And because that has come basically after the Government of India has evolved a policy on national innovation and startup policy for students and faculty. As a prelude to this, they thought unless we change the education system totally, we cannot make our students innovative, and entrepreneurial spirit cannot be imbibed into the students. That's the reason why, although the policy to 2020 was been there for the last 3-4 years, Government of India felt the urgent need to bring it up, to synchronize both this policy of 2019 and the National Education Policy 2020. So let's see very briefly, having seen the educational policy, let's see very briefly what is this innovation. And before that, let's understand what is innovation for majority of the students. Innovation, new imagination in the form of device or a method. That's what we normally, Wikipedia defines innovation. So innovation often also viewed as application of solutions that meet new requirements, unarticulated needs, or existing market needs. Just try to understand the definition you will have, because there is so much of there in this definition itself. Then when you make a new idea or a creative thought or a new imagination or a device or a method or a process which will apply for a better solutions, right, to meet the new requirements, needs, and this should have the provision of more effective processes, services, technologies, or business models that are made available to markets, governments, and society. And that's exactly what is innovation. So innovation can be a very small idea which is a solution to a particular problem, because every one of us are living in problems. Our society has problems, our farmers have problems, our street vendors have problems, right? So everywhere, and you can always give the solution, and that can be innovation. Remember, there is a lot of difference between invention and innovation. Invention is different, right? Whereas innovation is, it can be a very small change of process, change of device, change of process that can bring out a new product altogether, which will be helpful to the community, which will be helpful to which has a great market demand. Then if you see the entrepreneurship, okay, so entrepreneurship refers to all new businesses, including self-employment and businesses that never intend to become registered or registered. Startups refer to the new business that intend to grow large beyond the solo founder. See, and who is an entrepreneur? We all have seen the street vendors, right? If you see all along the road, you will have the vegetable vendors, street vendors, and everywhere. And India is actually flooded with street vendors. You will be thinking low about them. What is their contribution to the GDP? And Government of India and all government agencies, tell them they are unorganized, underdeveloped, unorganized sector. But what is the fact? This unorganized sector, this unorganized small shops and street vendors contributes 90% of the workforce in the country, and their businesses contribute to 50% of the GDP of the country. Terms them as marginalized and unorganized sector, and that is their contribution. Imagine a small street vendor, he gets for a wholesale price and spends the whole day and sells the vegetables, and we go and try to bargain with them, and he's not depending on the government, and he's trying to be on his own, whereas ourselves studying so many degrees, PhDs, are begging to the government that where is the job, where is the job? And who is great for that matter? Having consumed so much of government's money, we are searching for the jobs, and even without, he is standing on his own. A street vendor is trying to be on his own. Again, if he employs 1 or 2 people, and he is contributing to the society, and that's the greatness of this entrepreneurship. So if you come out with if you set up if an entrepreneur, if the idea is innovative, and if you are starting up a particular business, a company or a project, to seek effectively develop and validate a scalable business model, you call yourself as a startup, and you can be the CEO, chief executive officer of your startup. If your innovative is, if your business idea is innovative, you are called as a startup. If your business idea is not innovative, and if it is in tune with the same business that already exists here, we call them as MSME, micro, small, and medium scale enterprises, MSME. So that's the basic difference between a startup and an MSME. Okay, so you can start an MSME, or you can also start a startup, but you will have more benefits if the startup has a innovative idea, right? Or if it is not innovative also, you can still be covered under MSME, but all that is required is you should have a business model, how your business is going to impress others, how your business is going to reach the market, empower the market so that you get the revenue. Because ultimately, startups face high uncertainty and have high rates of failure, but a minority of them do go on to be successful and influential. You know, there is a lot of failure, but still there has to be no name or no term as failure as such, because everything is an experience for you, right? So startups which highly creative, they go on becoming unicorns. Unicorns. A unicorn is nothing but a privately held startup company valued at more than $1 billion US. So if a company turnover is more than $1 billion US, you are called as, okay. Now, like this, there are so many examples in India. You know, you have Jio is one unicorn, Paytm, Ola Cabs, Oyo Hotels, and I suggest every one of you to Google all these names: Jio, Paytm, Ola Cabs, Oyo Hotels, Baiju, Swiggy, Zomato, Billdesk, Musicma, Big Basket, Policy Bazaar, Snapdeal, Flipkart. There are hundreds of these kind of unicorns in India. Okay, and how they have become such their journey, and see how a small idea. You know, Ola Cabs, the company never owns a cab. And similarly, Uber never owns a thing, but manages millions of cars, millions of taxis. Okay, so that's the strength of the startup. And again, you would have seen a Redbus. Redbus was actually started by 3 engineering graduates within 2 years. And then they have sold this Redbus app to 300 crores to a multinational company. And within 2 years, every one of them got 100 crores. And then they went and started another company. That's the thing. Again, you would have seen Where Is My Train is another app. This was again, this app was built by engineering college students in Bangalore, 4 students. And they just worked for 3 months, developed this app, sold it to Intel for 4 crores. Every one of them got 1 crore. And then, so like this, there are so many success stories, provided your idea is good. The only logic this Where Is My Train app people used was, if a passenger is within the train or outside the train. All that they are doing is they are catching the phone, okay, the signal tower, if they within the train or outside the train, and the logic is written only in C language to get that particular algorithm, which is considered to be the highly popular railway tracking app, Where Is My Train. So these are all some of the examples which the new education system is going to happen, because what is required at this stage is we have to make the students think. So students should not be constrained, at any given point of time to pursue only a particular stream or a particular course. So the rationale for all such thing is both the policies is currently innovation is still not the epicenter of education. I hope all of you will agree, right? The epicenter of the present education system is only marks, exams and marks, nothing else. So that they want to think. No support in institutions to engage students and faculty to participate in entrepreneurship and innovation. There is no support in institutions. Even now, some of the colleges are coming forward to establish the institutes innovation cells, innovation councils. Okay, but they have to be very, very active because so far the failure is a stigma or a taboo in our ecosystem. And startups and entrepreneurship are not primary career options, at least not many of us. This is not at all a primary career option. The only career option for everyone is getting a job. That's exactly the thing. This has to change. And keeping these points, only these policies have come. And then India's demographic dividend, you know, every time our prime minister and chief ministers keep talking about demographic dividend of India, which we normally call 50% of population is less than 45 years of age. That's the strength of India. No other country has this particular thing. But remember, unless this demographic dividend is not going to be put on right track, is not going to be upskilled in a right way, this demographic dividend is definitely going to be a demographic disaster. And this we have to take it as a caution, and it is a warning, and every one of us should be part of taking care of this demographic dividend and shaping them in the right direction. Only then it becomes the dividend. And then anyway, Government of India thinks about the economy should be $5 trillion because that's their thing. If in order this to happen, it cannot happen just by way. I was just telling the street vendors and unorganized vegetable vendors and these the small shops, they form 50% of GDP. And what if they are not performing? What if they are not on the streets? And you can't have a GDP at this level, whatever it is, 1 million or 1 trillion or 2 trillion economy, you can't have it because they are contributing 50% of the GDP. So if you have to go for this $5 trillion economy, you have to have more number of startups, more number of small enterprises. So the idea is, if you say, see, you all would have seen, Anantapur is blessed with Kia Motors, a 13,000 crore company is establishing, not employing even 10,000 people. But it is not the idea of putting a one big industry and employing few people. Instead of, if you can have a 13,000 1 crore companies, they would have produced 13 lakh employment process. That's the strength of the economy. So we should have more number of small industries, small startups, small enterprises, micro, medium, small scale enterprises than big industry. Only then the economy can go up to this level. Then we have a surging unemployment in India and of course globally. And for meeting this unemployment, we can't depend on big companies. We want every student to become an entrepreneur. You start your own company. Don't ask for a job. Always ask for an employee. You ask that I am giving you a job. Come. You don't need to give me a job. And if we have that kind of a thing, so the surging unemployment can be bridged only with starting of these kind of innovative ideas, startups, and every student becoming entrepreneurs. Then the gap between skills required and skills imparted is huge. There is a huge gap. Every one of you know that what the industry wants. And at the end of graduation, why should the industry again train a particular person if the student is actually graduated in a particular subject? He should be industry ready. Then why should again the industry spend so much in training that particular candidate? So that is the way the skills required and the skills required at industries, there is so much of gap. The skills imparted at the industry, in the institution. Skills required at industry is not matching with skills imparted at institution. Then syllabi and staff are not tuned to market needs. Definitely, every one of us should accept, because I have studied some 30 years back, and the current generation, unless the staff are not updated to the particular technologies of the current generation, and we will not be giving the students the market needs. And doing kind of thing, the list goes on and on. And this is the rationale. These are all the reasons why the government of India have thought of preparing this innovation and startup policy and the national education policy in order to take the next generation, 21st generation youth to capitalize the demographic dividend of our country. So the vision is these policies should work as a guiding framework to envision an educational oriented towards startups and entrepreneurial opportunities for students and faculties. That's the basic vision. And to provide ways to Indian higher educational institutions for developing entrepreneurial agenda, managing intellectual property rights, ownership, technology licensing, equity sharing, enterprises established by faculty and students. And finally, to ensure that innovation and primary fulcrum of our education system. That is the thing. Anyway, for doing all these things, the policies talk about
Hello, sir. Hello.
సుధీర్ సార్ వాయిస్ కట్ అయింది సార్.
కట్ అయింది మేడం.
మళ్ళీ ఎగ్జిట్ అయ్యారు సార్.
ఓకే మేడం. సో వెయిట్ ఫర్ 5 minutes మేడం. So meanwhile, students, be prepared for your any doubts. Okay, whatever doubts in your mind, no issue. Okay. So please, so convey your thoughts or share thoughts, whatever the thoughts in my mind to our Professor Nagbhushan Raj garu. Okay, na?
Yeah, let me get back
sir.
to this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We'll close it in another 6-7 minutes. Then we go for question and answer session.
Yes, sir.
So steps for implementation for all these policies, government has a set of strategies where the student and staff are really motivated and are participative right from the entire the system of education, where the students and teachers are in continuous touch. So you have to build up organizational capacity, human resources and incentives, creating innovation pipeline and pathways for entrepreneurship, norms for faculty startups, and then collaboration, co-creation, business relationships, entrepreneurial impact assessment, all these are there. So anyway, so these are all the steps for implementation. So finally, I will touch upon what are the ideas, what are the steps for implementation, what the government of India is doing. Okay. Yeah. So in order to make sure that every one of us get this, government of India has set up, in order to give a hope for emerging entrepreneurs, Atal Incubation Center in Sri Krishna Devaraya University. So government of India set up these Atal Incubation Centers at different places. In South India, we have our 5 or 6. We have one in Sri Krishna Devaraya University, one in CCMB, Hyderabad, one in National Institute of Fashion Technology, Tirupur, one in Anna University, and one in REC Trichy, NIT Trichy, another one in Triple IT, Calicut. So we have very few such incubation centers, which for us, we are a Pan India organization facilitated by Atal Innovation Mission of Niti Aayog. You all know Niti Aayog is National for Transforming India, the erstwhile name of Planning Commission. Before we used to call it a Planning Commission, but now it is called as Niti Aayog. Okay, so they have been supporting these kind of incubation centers at different places, basically to create a conducive ecosystem for the innovation and startup and incubation, leading to employment generation, reduction in migration of local economy development. So the goal is to inculcate entrepreneurial spirit in the ecosystem, create a paradigm shift in the youth, and prepare them to become the next generation innovators and entrepreneurs. That's the goal of the incubation centers. Then the government of India has envisaged innovation generation pyramid. They have in AP, of course, we have 437 schools which are given Atal Tinkering Labs. Okay, so each school was given 10 lakhs initial fund and 10 lakhs for a period of 5 years, basically to make the students do the lab. Tinkering is like doing the experiments, right? Creative ideas. So we are actually guiding the selected students from 437 schools, because every year Niti Atal Innovation Mission conducts challenges in all these schools, identifies 5 to 6 schools, and then last year and this year 4 such schools. Last year 5 and this year 4 schools. We from Atal Incubation Center have given them all the innovation facilitation help, mentoring, technology support, and all such things, so that they can showcase their ideas and bring up in a product level. That's exactly what is the pyramid. So we have so many schools at the bottom of the pyramid, then followed by institution innovation councils. RIPER has also one institution innovation council, and again they have started Atal Community Incubation Center, ACICs. Now this they have given it only some KL University and some Gudur one engineering college. This year they've got this ACICs. Okay, so they are the next level thing, and then at the top you have Atal Incubation Centers. So the schools and the colleges, school level Atal Tinkering Labs we have, and at college level we have institution innovation councils, and at the regional level we have Atal Incubation Centers. So the idea is we have to handhold the institution innovation councils, and which will in turn handhold the Atal Tinkering Labs. So this is the entire innovation generation pyramid. Okay, so finally, if you see, you have to be creative, right? As Abdul Kalam says, all birds find shelter during a rain, but eagle avoids rain by flying above the clouds, right? Problems are common, but attitude, that's what makes the difference. Okay, so that's where we have to be there. Another point here I would like to add here is, I welcome any one of you, either faculty or students, either through institution or out of the institution. You can always access the facility. We have a internship facility. We can conduct on behalf of Atal Incubation Center. We can conduct a number of programs, institutions. But the only thing is, we have a revenue model, because Niti Aayog always insists that we should not give anything free to anybody, because anything that is given free will not have any value. And that is the reason why we have different models. So each college can choose their own model. So we will be sharing these academic partnership models with the different institutes, and they can in turn use our services to make the students becoming the next generation entrepreneurs. Okay, so the students can straight away contact us, or students can come and visit our facility It's there in Sri Krishna Deva. For Raipur, it is just within a kilometer, I think. Many of your students, whenever you are going to the college or away from, after the college, you can just visit our facility, talk to our, share your ideas, and then we can, through your institute, we can always nurture your ideas. That is not at all a problem. Okay, so that's what the list goes on. I can have many more slides, but that's not the purpose of this particular thing. My idea is basically to induce the rudiments of both the policies and how these policies can be made use by the next generation students and faculty, so that we can make India great. We can make million flowers blossom in the country. Okay, so when every school, every children start thinking out of the way, start thinking problems for the solutions for the problems, then every one of us will be useful to the society. So my final call here is always encourage the street vendors, always encourage the small shops where the time, the amount of time they are sparing, the struggling, and we see many people quite. It's quite frequently. Even I keep arguing with my mother and wife. They always say, "Please don't bargain with street vendors, vegetable vendors, and they are contributing 50% of our GDP, and they are contributing to 90% of the workforce in the country." Right? So when you become a small businessman, and that's how it happens. Always, if you can help a particular street vendor, help them. Right? And in whatever way you can help, you give them an idea, you give them a solution how he can improve the business. That will also be a great contribution. So with this few ideas, I thank the management for Riper for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts. I am always available, and you can always access aic-sku.com and be in touch with us. Anyone can come and use our facilities and access our knowledge base. Right? Thank you very much. All the best. And now the platform is open, and I shall be ready to answer any question from anybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for giving very good and most inspiring speech on the innovation, sir. So you have given you have denoted all the opportunities what are there for student startups and also the ways for innovation, sir. Thank you so much. Here I have a small submission, sir. So you have pointed at one time that is selection of the credit points is very important for a student before joining the institution, like that you said, sir. So as a student, how can they judge the credit points?
Yeah, okay. In fact, as I said, madam, the government of India is coming out with this credit bank.
Okay.
When this is only a policy document, but actually in 2021, and they will be basically coming out with every university, when the Higher Educational Commission of India is yet to be formed. So when they form, they are going to decide which type of credits for interdisciplinary subjects, and every university will be deciding what are the multidisciplinary, what are the interdisciplinary, what are the intradisciplinary subjects and credits which can be helpful for a particular stream. Okay, so based on that, the credits will be distributed.
Okay, sir. So actually, we won't see this.
Add your point, madam.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, just to add your point, the credits will be basically divided under intradisciplinary and interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Right?
Okay, sir.
Intradisciplinary is within your pharmacy.
Okay, sir.
Interdisciplinary is pharmacy and chemistry, pharmacy and medicine, pharmacy and some other thing. Okay,
sir.
Multidisciplinary means number of disciplines coming together.
Okay, sir.
Where you can. So like this, they will be designing the credits.
Okay, sir. Okay. Generally, we won't see in their brochures, no, sir. In college brochures, we won't see
No.
the credits and all, so that the students they will see the what is information available on the Google or some oral information about the autonomous, like that they will see. So, as you said, that it is very better to check the credits of the institution. As you mentioned, as interdiscipline and intradiscipline. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
And any queries from the students? So if there are no queries, we can wind up the session. Any queries from the faculty? Sir, one more query, sir.
If there are no questions,
Yes.
if there are no questions, I have to understand that
Yes.
nothing is clear or everything
No,
is
no,
clear.
no, sir.
Everything, it cannot
Everything
be
is
everything is
clear,
clear.
sir.
Only nothing is to be clear.
No, no, sir. Actually, I think definitely they might have been motivated by the things, as you said, that Google and working at Google and Googling for work. So that
Yes.
they might be thinking about the mindset about the creativity and all. During this pandemic situation, actually, they have been stuck up to the mobiles and all, but you have clearly explained how they have to use the technology. As you said that CPU, like that, a small boy, how he generated his own app like
Yes.
that. So this is a good time actually, where they can find a lot of time for searching all the things and all to even to think about the inventions also, sir. Nowadays the students.
In fact, I wanted to,
Yes,
madam.
sir. Yes, sir.
In fact, I wanted to arrange an interview with that boy, third standard boy, today's session.
Yes, sir.
But,
Yes, you mentioned.
that boy
Yes,
has
sir.
an online school. His
Okay.
uncle not available until Saturday. He frankly told me, I'm not
Okay,
available until Saturday.
Oh,
So
sir,
otherwise,
from
I
which
wanted
place
to,
he is? From which
arrange
place
an
he
interview
is, sir?
with the boy. He's in Hyderabad. He's in Hyderabad, man.
Sir,
Okay,
sir,
sir.
maybe Pillai, sir. The child name is Pillai, end with Pillai, sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Oh.
Okay, sir.
No,
Okay,
his
sir.
name he is not popular. He's just the grandson of my colleague.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, if you make an interview,
He's
please
developing
share that
using
link.
a Raspberry Pi microcontroller. He is
Oh,
actually
my
developing
God.
a Raspberry Pi microcontroller based robo for agricultural farming.
Yeah, sir. Good.
And he's
Oh my God.
doing
Okay, sir.
programming in Python. He's doing programming in Python. He's learning Python
Studying
now.
third class, sir?
Third standard.
Okay. Okay. Sir, if you make an interview,
he's in a
please
third
share
class.
that link also, sir. We will see that. Definitely, we will share that
I will
interview
do that. I will do that.
to our
Within
students
a
also.
week or two.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
sir.
for giving
You can
more
also see
information
how
about the
that boy explains his project.
Okay.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks so much for giving the more information about
I
innovations
request all
and
the
also.
students, please keep my first slide in mind. Either you are behaving like nothing is a miracle, or you are in the category of everything is a miracle. There are only two categories of people, right?
Okay.
Whether you treat nothing is a miracle or everything is a miracle. What little thing you see, try to see the miracle in it. The creativity, then it changes. And
Yes, sir.
if you see nothing is a miracle, you will be going on in your own way. And you
Yes,
cannot explore in it. These are all the two
lifestyle.
categories what you can.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Exactly,
Really, it
madam.
is correct.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. Actually, today's generation people are very fortunate, sir, because government is coming with so many, what is that, initiations about the startup policies and entrepreneurship awareness and all. If we compare with our generation, because nowadays government is more emphasizing on this innovations. Really, it's a good initiation. And
Yes.
really, it's amazing to see your biodata also, sir. It is the we can tell that it is the bad time because we are not directly meeting you. So this pandemic situation making us to make online seminars and all. Otherwise we could have your direct meeting also. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Sudhir,
Madam.
Most welcome, madam.
please
Thank you.
present a vote of thanks.
Okay, madam. Okay, madam.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. Can I, madam?
Yes, please.
So, on behalf of Riper IIC and organizing team, Riper family, I extend a heartfelt thanks to today's speaker, Professor K. Nagbhushan Raj Garu. Sir highlighted the importance of national education policy in entrepreneurship and innovations. Sir, in spite of busy schedule, Sir accepted our invitation to encourage our young minds towards entrepreneurship and innovation. So, sir, sincerely convey my thanks to you, sir. So, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Hello.
Thank you very much. It was my pleasure
Yes,
to
sir.
be interacting with you all. All the best.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Sir,
also,
one more thing, sir. Our principal, sir, Dr. Y. Padmanabh Reddy Garu, informed to convey his regards because of some meeting and he couldn't able to join the meeting, sir. It is in JNTU, it seems. So, thank you so much, sir. Sir told me to convey
No problem.
his regards on behalf of him, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
thank you, sir.
Yes, we are ending the meeting. Thank you. Yes.
Right.
Madam, can I end the meeting, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Okay, ma'am.